Well, now I am 70. 70. I recognize it, but I don't realize it. I wonder if anyone ever ceases to feel young. I mean, for a whole day at a time. When you get to be 70, you're supposed to sit up there on that seven-tower summit. Tell the rest of the world how you got up there. They all do it. You know those garrulous old people? They explain the process and dwell on the particulars with senile rapture. Well, I've been anxious for some time to explain my system, and now I have the right. I believe I've achieved my 70 years in the usual way, by sticking strictly to a scheme of things that would kill anyone else. I have just a few simple rules I try to follow. I make it a point never to smoke more than one cigar at a time. I have no other restrictions. I never smoked any cigars with life belts around them either. They were always too expensive for me. I always smoked cheap ones. Well, reasonably cheap, that is. 60 years ago, they cost me $4 a barrel. But my taste has improved lately, and now I pay $7. 6. Or 7, I think. Yes, it's 7, but that includes the barrel. I've never taken any exercise except sleeping and resting. I could never see the benefit in being tired. As for diet, I've been very strict about sticking to things that don't agree with me. To one or the other has got the best of it. But the point I want to make is that you cannot reach old age by another man's road. My habits protect me, but they probably assassinate you. You have to make up your own rules and stick by them. That's not as easy as it sounds either, because there's bound to be somebody trying to reform you, trying to take all the pleasure right out of your life and replace it with dreariness. But don't let them. If you cannot reach 70 by a comfortable road, don't go. Oh, I suppose it's a good idea to obey all the rules while you're young, just so you have the strength to break them when you get old. But you must remember that experience is the best way to find out about something. A fellow who takes hold of a bull by the tail is getting 60 or 70 times as much information as the fellow who has it. And anybody who tries to carry a cat home by the tail is getting knowledge that's always going to be useful. Isn't ever likely to grow dim or doubtful. Well, chances are he won't carry the cat that way again. But if he wants to carry the cat that way, I say let him. It isn't always easy to be eccentric. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think this reforming sticks very well anyway. My dear wife, God rest her soul, tried diligently for years to get me to give up profanity. And I tried, but I never had much success with it. I could never get over the notion that in certain desperate and trying circumstances, profanity provides a relief, denied even to prayer. So if I cannot swear in heaven, I shall not stay there. They probably won't let me in anyway, from what my friends tell me. I'll probably have a hot time down in the front office. I remember once saying to our pastor, Joe Twitchell, that I wish to be cremated. He just looked at me and said, "Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I had your chances." Well, maybe it won't be so bad down there after all. When I think of all the disagreeable people that I've known who've gone on to a better world, well, I always remember the poor fellow who tried diligently all his life to acquire heaven. And the first person he ran across was a fellow he was hoping was in hell all that time. He was so disappointed and outraged that he inquired the way to hell and picked up his satchel and left. So there you have it. Heaven for climate. hell for society. Well, now it's a terrible death to be talked to death, and my feet are tired, and you're tired. So I'll leave you with these parting words. Let us so endeavor to live that when we die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Thank you. Now, those of you that have had enough wisdom for one day and wish to escape, this is your opportunity. Those of you that need a further injection of wisdom, I'll be happy to answer any questions. I know we're getting a little wet here. Baltimore is much like many other places. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. This young lady over here.
How was the weather in Hawaii?
The
I
weather
know
in
you had an
Hawaii
interesting time there.
was pretty constant. Pretty constant. One day looked just like the next. Yes, sir.
How many cigars did you really smoke a day?
You don't want to know the answer to that question. Barrels and barrels of cigars. I kept the cigar industry in business. Yes, ma'am.
So which of your books that you wrote is your favorite?
Well,
Or
this
that
might
you're
surprise
most
you because
proud of?
not too many people even know about this book, but the Life of Joan of Arc, I believe, was my best book. Not everybody agrees with me on that. In fact, not too many of you.
Did you ever master German?
Why would I want to master German? It strangles the tongue. Yes, ma'am.
Have you been reading about Baltimore in the news lately? I mean, what are your thoughts on, say, the city council, on the government of the town?
Well, the city council is much like Congress or school boards. Congress is the only truly American criminal class. Well, suppose you were an idiot, and suppose you were a member of Congress. But I repeat myself. First, God made idiots, and then he made school boards. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to get you out of this weather here. I'll be inside if you want to ask any questions.